In this video, we're going to be looking at how Monero can be attacked by the media. And by that, I mean the media, well, it sucks for pretty much everything, and crypto is no different. In cryptocurrency media, it's either trying to pump bags or it's throwing out arguments of FUD. That's really all I see when it comes to crypto media. With Monero, that FUD is either delistings or Monero being broken. However, as we're going to see, the story is much more nuanced than that. And no, Monero wasn't quote-unquote decrypted. This is just another likely EAE attack. So we see here it says Monero decrypted. Japanese police report breakthrough in flow analysis development. And then it goes on to say that there's a guy that was captured who was accused of money laundering, computer fraud, and phishing. And Japanese authorities disclosed that they identified the suspect by analyzing his operations on Monero, a highly private and confidential blockchain. So we see here, Japanese authorities have surprised the crypto community with startling remarks about a case involving criminals using Monero. We see down here, yeah, this guy was a boss of an organization. He was making fraudulent purchases with a credit card. It says down here, what's surprising about this case is that authorities claim this is the first time a suspect has been identified in Japan through an analysis of Monero. And in this last paragraph here, it says, while there have been similar cases involving Monero before, these have been disputed. In other instances, crime detection was achieved due to exogenous factors, not through Monero trace analysis. Now, I will say, though, this article is somewhat saved by this little note on the bottom. The allegations from Japanese authorities should be doubted until a public paper backing these Monero tracing claims appears. Law enforcement agencies benefit from these cases and may use such claims as scaremongering tactics to reduce potential criminal token use. Monero will maintain its high privacy token status until that happens. So yeah, I mean that's actually pretty fair. Of course he has this clickbait headline at the top, but okay, we see that at the bottom, and he's pretty much right in this skepticism here, as I'm about to show you. So in this article, it mentions local media reporting that information. Well, let's actually take a look at what the local media said. Now, this is the actual report. It's in Japanese, so I translated it here using DeepL. And we're going to see what the actual local report said. Now, just kind of going to skip around here. It mentions Monero really twice. On the first part, it says, the group tried to launder money by abusing Monero, a highly secretive virtual currency. But the police traced the flow of money and identified the suspect Kobayashi. According to the National Police Agency, this is the first time in Japan that a suspect was identified by analyzing Monero. And then down here, the National Police Agency Cyber Special Investigation Unit joined the investigation in August. The suspect, Kobayashi, emerged from the communication application with the perpetrators. And after analyzing the flow of virtual currency, it was determined that he was strongly suspected of being involved in a series of crimes. That is it. That's all they say about Monero. Nothing in depth at all. Just that, well, the Monero was observed and the flow of transactions happened. So yeah, we go back to this headline here, and this is what, the normies, the noobs, right? They hone in on this headline here. Oh, Monero decrypted? Japanese police report breakthrough in flow analysis development. It's a lot of big words there for actually this is probably just another EAE attack and we don't have any other information. Headlines like this, which by the way, this wasn't the only article. This appeared on, pretty much every crypto, news website had a variation of this headline. Oh, Monero traced, Monero decrypted. The Japanese police have some breakthrough, No, they didn't. They were probably just doing an EAE attack. The funny thing is, we don't even know. I mean, I actually looked at the primary source here, and they're like, oh, yeah, well, we sure analyzed that Monero. Okay, what'd you do? Well, we analyzed it. That's pretty much all they have here, and it doesn't really say anything. So I view articles like this as an indirect attack of Monero, which I don't necessarily know is on purpose. In some cases, yes, I do believe it is on purpose. Like the way the Japanese police had reported this, they knew they didn't actually decrypt Monero, but they are throwing the story out there in the hopes that the journalists who don't understand how privacy works, they assume that. which is what we're seeing here. So it's kind of like an attack on Monero by not really saying much information and letting the dumb journalists connect the dots using their noobish viewpoints of how privacy works. That is really the problem here. And it's not just with privacy too. We have the same thing with all the regulations happening. The government, they don't know what's going on. They don't release that much information. And then these crypto journalists have to try to connect the dots and no one has any idea what's going on, right? It's the exact same thing. In this case, they didn't decrypt Monero at all. What very likely happened is this individual who, by the way, back to the article here, it does say that he was using like a credit card. Where does it say it? Yeah, it says here that he was using a credit card in another person's name. Over 900 fraudulent transactions by misusing a credit card in another person's name. So he was being looked at for using, a credit card, fraudulently, excuse me. That's why he was, caught, right? And then using that, they probably then went to his KYC exchange account and saw, hey, he's getting all this money sent into his account. Where did that come from? Then they hopped backwards to whatever CoinSwap service he used. And would you look at that? It matches with somebody swapping into Monero. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I have multiple videos about this in this series where I talk about how CoinSwap services are being monitored. I guarantee that is exactly what happened here. But that's not juicy for a headline. So instead they say that Monero decrypted, and and yeah, that's really all that matters to them is the clickbait. So yeah, this is just another, and the thing is, there are so many examples of this. Really every couple of months we're seeing something like this where, oh, Monero's traced. Not really, right? Monero works. It works really well, but there's always going to be ways to attack a privacy tool. And just because there are ways to attack a privacy tool doesn't mean that privacy tool isn't private, right? Privacy is not an on or an off switch. It is a spectrum. And somebody who is using KYC exchanges gives up a ton of metadata, and that is what is being used by federal investigators and chain analysis companies. All right, that's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please donate if you like the material, and I'll see you guys next time.